If they look at Myro, keep an eye on Bitcoin, right? Everybody's expecting this big crash. Not so fast, maybe, right? Yesterday, we'll get right back over here to this chart. Yesterday, a lot of people were watching a trend line going up. That trend line broke, and I think it swept a lot of liquidity in there. I took a short here on Bitcoin just for a ABC that I think is going on in here. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm on Caspa. I think Caspa is pulling back down here towards 4. And then I think it's slingshotting up here. I truly believe that alt season is coming yet, right? The fear and greed index is down to the 28. I think it's chasing people out. And rightfully so, man. People get scared. It's perfectly normal for everybody. Perfectly normal to happen. Now, what I see in here with this Bitcoin chart, I think this was a black swan event over here. This wick, that's what happened today. Trump announced the tariffs on China, and I'm not really counting that in an Elliott wave count here. I think this correction came down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right now, I think Bitcoin is probably more than likely heading back up into this area. Okay, could have an ABC in here, a correction down. I could get stopped out too. But I'm looking here. This one here would measure out. Alright, it hit a 618 right on the head. Boom. What would that give us? A double bottom. Bottom here, bottom over here, and possibly a run up. We'll see if it happens. That would take it down towards 104. Or it breaks through here. And runs up. We've had a great week over in Discord. Won a lot of trades this week over there. I don't know how many for sure. I don't know. 9 out of 12, 10 out of 13. I don't know. A couple of them I counted as losses. Technically, I was in, the one I was in 600% profit before it rolled over. So, and the other one I had a 70-cent target for it that I put out there, and it went to 68, the whole way from 52. So that was up big time. I counted that as a loss too. So a couple of them could have been wins, So we had a really good week over there. If you want to join up, come over there. We have 160 some people. It's a level 3 membership in the description of the video. We'd love to have you, So if you want to spend the $15 and try it out, come on over, man. We got people in there all day long. There's some really, really great traders in there too. I love it in there. But we're looking at an ABC here. We'll see if it works out. Like I said, that pulled down to 104. I think the big story with Bitcoin, if it gets up here into this box, your 618,702, which is up towards 117.7 to the 119.7. Does it come up here and do a big A, B, C? Our alt season start, as this runs up and then comes back down. We'll have to see, but I truly believe that alt season's coming yet, right? Bitcoin dominance, it's getting there, right? It's getting up to the point where it broke a 3-year trend line that it held. The last time we had an alt season, it was a 3-year trend line that broke. Same exact thing, right? Here's your trend line coming up through here, right here. Started in September or October 2022, and it broke up here just about the same time, just about 3 years later, August, September, break 2025, 3 years. Over here, January of 2018 to just about January of 2021, 3 years. Break, alt season, come up here, break, retest, drop, alt season. I'm still sticking to that. Don't count, don't hold your cards because of me. Do your own research with that stuff, and we'll see how it plays out. Now, what I was measuring out over here, you either have a 702 or a 618. This looked like a big ABC in here. All right, so looking for a bottom with Myro. That one there it went below it, right? So we'd probably be looking at a 618. What's that give us? Down here at let's see here, prices at, what are we at right now? Alright, we're at 0.0133. Okay, now this could push down here, 0.0133, right up here. Alright, this wick, you know, I think it just has a little bit more to go down here, 0.00125 possibly. You know, it could have a little bit more down to go. How much? You know, if we measure it out, what is that? Wow, it's 100%. Holy cow! You know, maybe not. We'll have to see here. But if we take a measurement off this thing, right over here, it could have hit. You know, you got this wick coming down here. It could have been it could have been a bottom right there. This just about matches up with the ABC area. It's in that area, right, where it should be bouncing here soon, right? Heading back up. Expecting a run here out of Myro. You know, the weekly RSI just about reset, almost at the bottom here. Your daily's at the top. You can see right up here, right? But it's down here near the bottom as far as, and it looks like it's probably going to have bullish divergence here, right, on the daily. Now, what would give a good indication of a bottom? Right here. The break of this trend line coming down. You know, you got it right up here, coming down through here. You know, this trend line breaks. You get this right where it should be. About there. You know, tweak it a little bit here and there, right about there, right? This thing ends up running up here and breaking out of this trend line, which would be up at about, what, 0.016, right about there, right up in that area, 0.016, 17, about, yeah, 1617. You know, that's a break, and you're going to get a run, right? You're going to get a run back to the upside here. The question is when, right? I know. That's the part that's hard to guess at, to pick out, right? Right through here, you had a break through this trend line, coming through here, you know, and you had a short, right? I mean, it ran to the downside here. If you're counting out these waves, you can see here, and we're on a 1 day chart, right? 1 day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Could be a bottom. You know, you could definitely this thing. If that is a bottom, it's getting in the area where you're going to see a bounce. Right, here's that wick from the China thing. I'm not, you know, if you use that, I don't know. If you do use it, I mean, we're right in that bounce there. If you don't use it, we're right in that bounce area. If you do use it, you know, you'd be looking at a pull down to 0.011 right in that area. That's your 50% retracement, and it's getting there where it's looking like it's probably going to, right? That's where I would be watching for a reversal on this thing, right around here. You know, you get this push down, and then the run started back up. I think Caspa's getting pretty close. And this thing pull down to there, you'd be looking at what, 17% move, 17% yet down. It's still a pretty decent move down, but that's gonna make extreme fear in the market. That's gonna push people out, right? For sure. I mean, that's what they want. They want you out, so you jump back in when you know, when everything starts taking off, and they have and they bought the bottom, and they're in at the bottom. You know, they want to push it down. The big guys. We're at a 28 right now. Alt season 24. You know, that has ways to go up yet. You know, that's That's what they want here, guys. Fear in the market. They want you selling. They want you dumping. And then when these things start running back up, hardcore, 30-40% moves in one day, that's where they want you buying back in. And that volume of everybody buying back in will push it higher and higher and higher. And you'll have more people coming in, more people coming in. If you held it this long, it would be kind of senseless to sell now, right? I mean, especially if that's all the more it's going to come back down. Um, you know, no guarantees. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice at all. But you have a 5-wave correction in here, and looking, it's looking like pretty damn close to a bottom to me. That big ABC, we're right in that zone. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. What's that going to do? That's a double bottom. If this wick did not count, if this pulls down to 50%, bottom here, and if you bounce over here, double bottom, that's super bullish. See you later. Hopefully, right? We'll see. Chart's not looking as bad as you think, though. I truly believe that. So we'll keep an eye on this. I'll check back with you guys as soon as we get some movement here. I'm going to put an alarm on this so we know what's up. Let's put that on there. Come join us in Discord, guys. Try it out. Try it out for a month, especially with alt season coming. If you like it, that's awesome. If you don't, but been hammering some pretty good trades out there this week for sure. All right, so I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.